Hi, beautiful kind setters. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a safe space where we explore all the amazing ways that kindness plays a pivotal role in a winning mindset and your self-esteem as well. So today I'm going to be talking about self-esteem and the biggest things that helped me. So the biggest thing that really helped me was removing judgment of myself, and first of all being aware of where I was judging myself really harshly. And sometimes it was just a general phrase like, I'm so this and I'm so that and I'm so dumb, and I'm like, those are really general things, and sometimes it would be really specific. And that's when you get down to being aware of your triggers. When do these harsh comments start popping up? Is it after you interact with someone and you feel like you didn't do something right, or you feel like you could have done better on certain projects? Or what are the instances that it's really that harsh criticism starts to pop up? And having that awareness is amazing, because without that awareness, we're just kind of reliving cycles of feeling shame and beating ourselves up. And to get to the root of it, it actually solves a lot of self-esteem issues, because a lot of times, one thing, it's like a family of thoughts, right? And it also applies to a family of situations. It's not just a one-time thing, because if you have the thought that, so say someone has a thought that they're not worthy, then that can pop up every time somebody criticizes them, even if it's a loved one and they're going through their own issues too, and they're just being human. We can be triggered really badly, and that can create a lot of conflict, and that triggering can lead to anger and yelling and passive aggressiveness. And so getting to the root of, okay, and it's not like, oh, okay, I figured out the root, I'm all good and now I have amazing self-esteem. That could be the case, and it could be a longer process and a more in-depth process. So give yourself kindness and time to figure that out for yourself, because it's not the same for you as it is for someone else. And when you journal about it, or you get help about it, you talk to someone about it, just the act of getting it out is so important, because then you can start to see, it's like the therapy helps so much because you're processing it as you're getting it out. You're not holding it in. And so it's so important to just release that judgment. But in order to release those judgments, you have to kind of be aware of where you are judging yourself, and what kind of situations really bring about those judgments and those emotions, those really harsh emotions towards yourself. And that's a cue for you to just stop, pause, breathe through it, and maybe even close your eyes, put your hands on your heart. Just tune into the beat of your own body, your heartbeat, your breath, and tell yourself you are in a safe space right now to explore and figure out what's really going on, because I don't want you to hurt anymore. I don't want you to relive the same situation over and over again on different days. I want to help you, and this is talking to you or your inner child, and just reassuring yourself that I'm sorry that I've caused you a lot of pain in the past by criticizing you, and a lot of times other people's voices have become my own. So I really am sorry about that, and I want to move forward in a completely different way. I want to love myself in a completely different way. I want to support myself in ways that I've never supported myself before. And I can't promise that I won't slip up. but I can promise that I am doing things differently now. And that really helps, just that pause and checking in with yourself. It doesn't have to be that long, but that's just an example of us checking in with ourselves, because there's so many messages being thrown at us, just how we should look, how we should be, how we should act, how we should feel. And if you only do this, then you'll feel better about yourself. If you only think positive, you'll be a success. Well, what does your definition of success mean, first of all? And if you don't feel good about yourself, or you don't feel joy in your own skin, is that really successful? Maybe if it's external success and that's what you're into, but you deserve, and everybody deserves, to be happy and doing what they love. And they have, we're all born in with intrinsic self-worth. And I think that we're taught out of that, and it's really sad. That's why it's really important to, inner child healing is amazing. It's really important to get in touch with traumas in the past, not to relive them, because actually when we suppress them, we are reliving them, and they come out in really harsh ways towards other people and towards ourselves. So to get insight from those traumas is really, really important. We don't want to be putting ourselves through that over and over again, and finding people and areas that we need to forgive, and even forgive ourselves, because God has already forgiven us. So just even living in that, stepping into that. And God has made us so beautiful. We're all so beautiful and different in so many ways, that this culture of competition is really not serving us. And it's important to know that what you have is adding value to someone else in a completely different perspective than anyone else on the earth can. So just knowing that, I heard that from Dr. Caroline Leaf. She has a podcast that's amazing. You should check it out. But she says that almost every podcast. And it really hits home, because a lot of times we weren't taught that. But now we can learn, and now's the time to step up for ourselves and learn and identify, hey, you're not being kind to yourself right now. What can I do to make it kinder? This space inside kinder for myself right now, because I spent years basically even abusing myself, calling myself names, beating myself down, wondering why I couldn't do things a certain way or better. And it's really important to now support yourself and empower yourself and say, okay, are these thoughts serving me? Because if they're not, I have a choice to cultivate healthier thoughts that do support me and my goals and are in alignment with who I am. It doesn't matter what other people think of me. It does, because we all want to belong, but what matters more is what I think of me. And I think that is the key to healthy self-esteem, is that turning that critic onto your critic, and just saying, and not being harsh, but just stopping it and just being, hey, is this true in the moment? Is this true at all in any moment? What you're saying about yourself? What is there, or is this a voice that has been there and it's a habit and it's just in the background? Identify those voices, because what God says about you is you're amazing, you're creative, you are beautiful, and you add something that nobody else does. on this planet, and that's why you were put here, to be in joy in the things that you're doing and love yourself. So I really hope this blesses you. Take care. God bless you. And yeah, always be kind to yourself, because when you're kinder to yourself, the world becomes a kinder place to you and everyone else.